All right. All right.
So
So
are we going to take you up on when you start doing the pictures? Are we going to take you up on what you said and all sit there and be silent for the first minute to see what people think about it?
sure.
Okay.
Sure. Okay, so yeah, so welcome to the November critique meeting. Not a lot of housekeeping tonight as we get to the end of the year. So on the 30th, so we'll call it 8 days now at this point. 8 days from now is the drop off at RPAC for the winter show. Mine just came in today, so woohoo! Yeah, so that'll happen on the 30th. From 5 to 8 in the evening. So, and if that doesn't work for you, let me know and we'll make other arrangements. Either you can drop it off at my house beforehand, or if it needs to be a couple of days, whatever, we'll figure something out. So if you can't make it that 5 to 8 time frame, just let me know. And then the show opening is December 4th. I think it's scheduled from 1 to 4, but feel free to show up before that if you want. It is a potluck. There's a potluck sign up going on in the comments on the event for that on Facebook. So if you look in the events, there's the show opening event and there's a potluck sign up in there. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, so there's a sign up there. Yeah, bring whatever you want. The bar will be open. Heidi will be there. So anybody who's like me and likes to just stand around and talk to Heidi because she's interesting, she'll be there. That's fun. And then the next, and our judges are set for the winter show. We're going to have Don Chick, not a surprise. Gene Wozniak is going to come over from NHPPA. And then Charles Cormier is going to come back again and judge for us. So that'll be fun. And I know that Jean is planning on sticking around through the party so that she'll be there to critique the images and stuff if you guys want. And I think Charles is going to try. Don can't, but we might be able to get Jean and Charles to stick around for a while. Yeah, and then the next meeting would be January. Let's see, the January 11th. And that's our speed learning at RPAC 6:30. We'll get the website and stuff updated in the next couple of weeks for next year. So I think that's
pickup would be the beginning of January.
Yeah, it's usually right around like January 2nd because no one's going to be there on the 1st. So yeah, pickup will be on January 2nd. There's been a couple years where they had us leave it up for January and February. So if they ask us to do that again, then pickup will be at the end of February. So figure that out.
Is there a fee for entering?
No.
No fee. There's your answer, Pat.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I don't have my chat open. Tom Sorensen is texting me trying to get in. The code was 40484, right?
408084.
408084.
Yeah.
Try that.
I didn't have to enter a code this time.
I never do. I don't know why it's asking.
It made us last time.
Did it?
Yeah.
I just hit the link that was sent out and brought me right in.
Yep,
Yeah, I had to update my Zoom thing, but other than that, it brought me in.
So that's it for housekeeping for now. The leadership team will be meeting sometime before the 1st of the year for one last time to start really try and get some plans in place for next year. So if you have suggestions for speakers or people you want to see, someone you want us to reach out to, you have ideas for challenges, let us know. Just send an email to the mailbox or reach out to someone directly. We want to hear from you, and if we can, get a speaker, I'm always willing to reach out to anybody. Or if these challenges, I mean, this last one was the number 3, so literally nothing is a bad idea. So yeah, so if you have some ideas, just let us know. We're definitely open to anything that you have. All right, so that's about it. Sina, Lisa, Scott, am I missing anything?
No. I
Okay,
don't think so.
Say no.
all right. I mean, I know how my brain works sometimes, so I always ask. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen up. Here we go. Y'all can see it.
Yep.
All right, perfect. All right, well then, oh, okay, and so Tom, you're sort of new on the call, so what we're going to try and do this meeting is try and like sit for a few minutes when your picture comes up. Try and sit for a few minutes without adding in some explanation. Let people look it over and maybe offer a few critiques, and then then you can sort of put in your 2 cents. But yeah, this was an idea that Lisa had, and I wanted it's worth giving it a try and see if it helps move things along.
Yeah, because you had said something at the meeting that sometimes that's a good thing just to let people absorb it first.
It is, yeah. Take like, everybody just take a minute and look at the photo and sort of take it in a little bit. I'm gonna get my timer going too, so we can try and stay on track. Timer, no, not 16 minutes. We'd be here all night. Let's see, 5 minutes. All right, so first up is Tom Sorensen. So I'm gonna go into full screen mode, and theoretically, there we go. All right. Yeah, so Tom, I'm interested to know where's the number 3 in this? What am I missing?
I see it.
So it's part of the chair, actually. So like the top of it is, top of the 3 is the top rail of the chair. And
Oh,
then the backside coming down is the actual shape of the 3. I took a picture of my cat sitting in the chair, and I kind of noticed it in the picture as I was sitting there looking at it. And I was like, oh. So I played around with it to see if I could get it to pop out more. I had like 2 sources of light on it, and so I was trying to accent like the curl of it, the highlight of it. So a highlight to draw your eye into it, and then to try to make that find edge more black so it stood out more with the contrast with the background and everything.
yeah. As soon as I'm probably the only one who missed it, but as soon as you said it, I saw it.
I'm still not seeing it.
Oh, you didn't,
Me
you're not the
neither.
only one.
So
Yeah, I'm
it's
struggling.
the shadow of this right here. So follow the.
Oh, now I see it. That's cool.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Like my cat was leaning up against it. I took a picture and I was like, oh my goodness, there's a 3. And it just, so I was like, okay. So I tried to play with it. I didn't have a lot of time to really put into it. So that's kind of what I came out with anyways.
I'm still missing it.
What it's one of those things, once you see it, you can't
Yeah.
unsee.
So Deb, follow the magnifying glass. Ready?
Okay.
Here's the top. Here's this shape, and then it goes around.
Okay.
Do you see it now?
Kind of, sort of.
Okay.
I was just trying to be more abstract with it, trying to find that 3. I did like a few series of photos where I played with like 3 Adirondack chairs out in my yard. I had a whole bunch of different 3 things I played with, but like with the description of it being number 3, I kept on going like, well, I need a 3 in it, and I thought of like how they do the street photography alphabets and stuff. So I tried to find something like that, and I couldn't find anything until, like I said, I took a picture of my cat, and it's kind of jumped out at me. I was like, oh.
I thought it was the 3 nubs.
Definitely very creative.
Yeah, I like it. I like the picture.
Now that I know where the 3 is, that's cool. Now you can't get it out of your head.
Oh yeah, once you see it, it's like Scott said, once you see it, you can't not see it anymore. And like when he mentioned that he had also done the highlight, you see that as well.
I like it. That's pretty cool. I was thinking it was the 3 pieces of wood individually, but
Oh,
now I see the 3. It makes sense.
no, yeah, I wasn't exactly sure. That's why I asked. So that's really creative.
Mhm.
I'm with you, Scott, on that. I originally thought it was 3 pieces of wood, but that's really awesome about the number 3 there. But I really like the texture of the chair, and the finish of the wood looks really awesome in this too.
Oh yeah, the editing, the black and white conversion is really nice.
I think we kind of got too wound up in the finding the number 3 in this to sit and actually critique the photo, but the lights and the darks are absolutely beautiful in this, and it's really, I like the composition. It moves your eye around, and yes, you were looking for the number 3, but your eye would move around whether or not you were looking for that anyway. So great job on this one.
Thank you.
Right. Well, that was the timer that just, I don't know if you hear it or not, but we just had the timer go off for the 5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like a scene like we didn't actually critique it, but I'm not sure it needs much. I think it's once you see it, it's really interesting. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, maybe a vignette to kind of bring the eye in a little bit more, but, or maybe a stronger vignette if you already have one on there. But that would be all I see. I think it's really cool. Like super creative. Well done, Tom.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, next up is Carol Martin.
Ooh, yum.
Really hard.
Yeah, I don't think we need to sit for a full minute necessarily.
No.
Like,
No.
give it a few minutes to let or give it a few seconds. Does anybody want to start with any critiquing? We still only
like
have
it.
5 minutes
Yeah,
for each one.
I want to
So
go right into it, and I just the color in this pops so much. I see multiple 3s, and
Yes.
I think that was the obvious, knowing that we were going into number 3. There's so many 3s that could be taken into this. So great job on the amount of 3s. And then if I go into a fake French accent, I can see the tree over there, which is also some more trees. And the only thing that I would say, and I'm not sure if it's just on my screen or just how it is, but I feel like the cropping on the bottom is just cropped a little bit. It's kissing the edge of my screen. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure how
Yeah.
the actual photo
Yeah.
is, but I would either crop, like, see if, I'm not sure if you have more space on the photo, but crop it out, give it a little bit more of a gap on the bottom, or definitely cross over that edge.
I agree.
but-
Unfortunately, there was no room. That
Yeah,
was just,
maybe just crop it in just a little bit more, like even if you just went in just the tiniest little bit and made it a this, I had to push it in a little bit further and just push in that crop so it's not kissing the edge. It just makes it a little bit uncomfortable.
yeah.
I also like the use of all the triangles. It has nothing to do with threes, but the cakes are in triangles and then the points of the dish are in triangles and it all kind of ties it together.
I love the triangles and the slices of cake. I do wish that the one closest to us was completely in focus.
Yeah, me too.
What kind of cake was it?
Plastic.
It was plastic. I was gonna say a good cake.
I have the recipe for it, for the real deal. But no, this was a display up at Castle in the Clouds. They're having, they've decorated the castle for Christmas. So this was a one little plate on this very cluttered dining room table. And it was very, very dark in there. It was hard to really focus, but it was really cool.
Well, you certainly got a lot of threes in there.
I got a lot of threes.
I don't think anything beats 3 pieces of triple layered cake.
It was really nice. They shared the recipe. I maybe I'll try it someday.
We do have a party coming up.
Yeah, okay, well, maybe I'll try it someday. Excuse me.
Creative, very creative.
Carol, did you move them around at all to have them as such, or did you just take the picture?
No, I just took the picture.
Okay.
And like I said, I wish I could have stepped back a teeny bit further to get the tip of the bottom of the plate. It was just, there wasn't a lot of real estate. So I was up against the wall pretty much. I think I took a picture of the whole table. I can post that so you can see what it looked like.
Then just cropped it down to this.
Oh, I didn't. No, this was just this.
Oh, okay. Then you took a picture of the whole
Then
thing.
I took another picture of the whole table, I believe.
Yeah, if it's in the dining room at Castle in the Clouds, there's not much room in there anyway, once they, it's, you think it would be bigger, but it's not.
It really isn't as big as it looks. The rooms are all very tight.
Yeah. Well, I guess he didn't like visitors. From what I understand back when we went up, wow. The story that they told years and years ago was that he didn't want people really staying there for any length of time. And then somebody that was in the trolley with us going to the top said that her brother went up to the castle when Mr. Plant lived there, and he shot over their heads telling them to get off his property. So I take it he wasn't a very nice man.
Rolling in his grave now, knowing what goes on up there.
Yeah.
All right, so 5 minutes has come and gone. Anything last thoughts for Carol? All right, nice job, Carol. Good.
Thank you.
Nailed 3 there. All right, on to a very literal 3. That's very cool.
Yeah.
This one is Susie. I could see this as a print.
Yeah. What is it? Are they eggs?
They are. I was going to do a photo with 3 eggs in it, and I just couldn't come up with anything. So I made a 3 out of the eggs. And then I put it through an art program to change the color and texture of the eggs.
Oh, so they're not actually colored. They are white eggs.
They are.
Oh.
That's different.
And then I bought a brand new Christmas sweater, and that's what it's sitting on.
It almost looks like they're like those marble shaped eggs. marbleized eggs or whatever. It was really nice.
My husband thought they looked like alien eggs.
Yep, they look like they're textured. I mean, they definitely,
Yeah. Or veins running through them, like,
yeah.
yeah, the aliens, I think, make,
Looks like the night sky behind you.
There you go.
maybe they're rocks from the moon. Now we got that capsule up by the moon now.
I let them sit out long enough so they would sweat, so they would be shiny.
How long does that take?
Not long. 5 minutes.
I don't know if my mind's playing tricks on me, but I see like 3 distinct colors. I see the background that's a little purplish, and then around the eggs, I see a darker color, and then I see the lighter color of the eggs. So it's like 3, to me, there's 3 different tonalities there.
Yep, I can see that now that you say it.
Yeah, I think it's probably happening because the eggs are, they're causing an indentation in the fabric. And so it's more shadowy in there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah.
fluffy sweater, so
And
yeah.
then through the processing, that's been brought up. Because I agree with you. It looks like there's almost like this dark halo around the rings, or around the eggs, I mean.
What did you use to take the picture with?
You mean my camera?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. It was a Nikon 7500 with a 16-80 lens. I had to stand on a chair above it, trying not to fall over to take it.
Interesting
do
how
for-
they all have the outline. It looks like a little ridge around each one.
I like that there are 3 groups of 3.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
There are 3 groups of 3.
Mhm.
And after you see it, you can't not see it.
You can't not see it, that's right.
See what I live with?
So the pink or magenta and orange and green and blue, all those little veins, that's just something that this program did?
It is.
Huh.
Yeah, I messed around with the program for about an hour trying to get it. I wanted it to look antique-y, not because the eggs are actually white. So it took a while to get them that color.
No, it's very creative. I think it's interesting. I mean, obviously I'm just staring at it. So
Mm.
I think it would make a really cool print on canvas. That's what I keep seeing is like, I feel like I would see this for sale at IKEA, on canvas as just like, artwork that someone could buy for their home.
Hmm.
So I'm telling you should market it to like IKEA
Somebody that likes the
and see if they
number-
license it.
Hmm.
There
Yeah,
is
it could certainly be like in somebody's kitchen or something.
Yeah.
there is the 1, 2, 3 third egg from the bottom that has a bright spot on it. And that seems to be catching my eye for some reason.
It's
Yeah,
the
the one
brightest
up
thing in the
above
image.
it. Yeah, the one up above it too.
Yeah. But not quite as much.
I mean, in Lightroom, you could probably tackle that with a brush. Just a little bit. Oh, that's accurate. Look at that.
That'll work, Scott. Yeah, yeah, Sean, that'll work.
Yeah, oh yeah. Does anybody notice it?
Yeah. Why is it turning all?
Oh, because my
Ah.
selection is terrible. I dropped the exposure down, and then even I tried to highlight. But
So, Sean, if you were to bring that into Photoshop,
yeah,
would
oh yeah, I
you
could deal with it in Photoshop.
just be able to just eliminate it, just take it out?
I mean, yeah, probably. At the very least, just knock it down so it matches, the rest of the eggs. Like this one doesn't bother me at all. Matches, these two are pretty close. So, and there's a hotspot on all of them, which makes sense. I'd probably just try and knock it down to match the rest of them.
That one is the very largest egg, and it might just have been enough of a height difference so that it
Yeah, it caught the light
reflected.
a little bit
light.
different. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I guess if there's a critique for it, I think that would probably be it, is try and get these hotspots to kind of match up. Like these up here where they're really muted, if I could get them all in that general vicinity, like these 4 up here are great. These eggs are just brighter in general, so it doesn't bother me quite so much. So yeah, that one hotspot just needs to be toned down a bit so it doesn't keep grabbing your eye. But yeah, that's wow, a cool interpretation of the challenge.
Mm. Yep.
All right, that 5 minutes is come and gone. Anybody have anything else for Susie?
It's very creative.
All right, really cool, Susie. Nice job.
All right, thank you.
All right, this one is mine.
I like how much this photo just brings, I mean, the amount of joy just kind of just pops out at me. I mean, obviously the little boy in the Spider-Man costume, but their reaction to the bubbles and the bubbles themselves, and just
Mm. Yeah, the iridescence and the bubbles.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it just protrudes fun.
And that's another example of there's more than there's 2 sets of 3s in there right off the bat, the 3 hands and the 3 kids. That was the first thing that caught my eye.
Oh, yeah.
It's very fun. It's a very fun photo.
Where was this, Sean?
This was the Rhett's Roost 5K up in Ogunquit? It's Ogunquit. Yeah, it was Matt. This was actually Matt Vigent's. He had me second shoot for him when he covered this, and so this was one of my shots from the day. So yeah, the whole thing was they dress up as superheroes and run a 5K in their costumes and raise money for I think it was a cancer group.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, lots of kids in costumes.
I'm glad you chose this image.
Yeah, you like this one?
Yeah. It was one of the ones that I picked for the slideshow for the clients too. As soon as I saw this, I was like, this is one of those ones that just kind of, stop you dead and scrolling. And I was like, oh man, that hits. I'm like, yep, that's going. It makes me want to get up. Not makes me want to. I'm actually getting a bubble machine now because of that. So that's happening. Yeah.
What are you gonna do with a bubble machine?
Kid portraits.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You could harass your dog with it too.
That too.
It's like getting a laser pointer for your cat.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a laser pointer for the dog.
I was gonna say
Me
dogs
too.
love them too.
I like the multiple use of 3, Sean.
Thanks.
The bright colors certainly make it stand out.
Yeah.
It was bright as hell that day. This was probably at like almost noon, right? It was around 11:15.
Probably, yeah.
Because the race went on at like 11:30, and I think this was before the race. So
Yeah, these shadows needed a lot of help.
Yeah, it was extreme conditions, basically, like the worst stuff you'd want to work with. But I think that what we came out of it was, yeah, yeah, it was a lot of fun. The client was really happy.
If you look in the background, there's also the triangle shape again.
Yeah, 3. 1, 2,
Yep.
3.
The tent
Mm-hmm.
is also triangles inside of the triangle, one of those crazy things.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, one of the things I like about this shot is the way that the tents and then that flag create a frame around them. And so your eye doesn't really want to leave the frame. And I wish I could tell you in the moment that was entirely intentional. It probably wasn't, but
I believe it.
No, he meant to do that. I saw him.
yeah.
Every single one of them. I saw it. I tell you.
But that's, when I was going through the images from the day, that was something that jumped out to me about this one, was just the way it was framed in, and it just sort of keeps your eye in the frame.
Yeah, there was quite a bit from this little area, like this few 10 to 15 minute section we were hanging around in this area. The bubbles, man, my goodness, that works.
Oh yeah, we were like flies to, you know what?
Yeah, yeah.
We're like bubble machine. Click,
Click, click, click. Oh.
So, all right, well, that's my 5 minutes. Anything else from anybody? All righty. Well, thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. Next up is Chris Wagner. Is this a cell phone pic, Chris?
Yes, it is.
Crazy awesome light, man.
Am I the only one who hears Kenny Loggins right now? Am I the only one who got that joke?
Yeah, I got it.
It's like it just wasn't funny.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Just wasn't funny. Yep, that sounds right. No, I love
I see
the
multiple threes again. There's 3 blades. It cuts the sky into thirds. Huh.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
There's 3 rays on top of the cloud.
Yeah.
3 sections of the nose of that part of the plane.
Yep.
funny, you can just find 3 every time, huh?
Definitely get a 3 for 3, Chris.
I love the reflection in the cone and the propeller.
Yeah.
So there's 3 distinct puddles too on the ground.
I was just thinking that about the puddles.
Yeah, the big one is only counts as 1.
Right. Yep.
I just like the feeling, the mood of it. It's just quiet. You know that airplane is going to be loud later, but it's just very quiet and ethereal, and it's nice.
I feel like it needs birds.
Birds.
No,
I don't think so. I think I like it the way it is.
Summon 3 of them.
Thank you.
Coming out of
the-
the clouds. Awesome.
The foreground where it's just such a nice cool gray and the background is such a nice warm, yellow. It's just with that contrast of it, just it brings you back and forth, and it has such a vibrancy to it. It's pretty amazing. Am I the only one that is seeing the horizon not straight though?
Nope.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
I meant
Thank
notice that like you're not the only one. It's
I didn't even notice that.
Big angle though, like
Like,
Yeah, but
I
the
love
roofs of the
angle
buildings, the roofs of the buildings look pretty straight.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's just a hill.
Oh, you're right.
Deceiving your eye a bit. I mean, it might be a little off, but it's not as off as it looks.
right.
Okay.
This is actually a 4-bladed prop, correct?
No, it's actually 5 blades.
Okay, 5. Well, that's great. You hid 2 of them.
So the story behind this is beginning of this month, my work took me on a business trip and down in Fort Lauderdale. And this is one of the planes that was there. And I was like, okay, this is like sunrise in Fort Lauderdale. I'm like, okay, I took several shots. This is probably like one of 20 that I took. And I saw the 3 of the blades automatically. I'm like, oh, okay, this is totally this is hopefully, if it comes out okay, it's going to look great, I think. But there was one other one I also posted on the GRCC Facebook page that it was about 5 minutes before this picture, and I had the sun looked a little different, but I like this one more out of the 2. And that day we actually flew around, pretty much getting chased around by whatever hurricane was in the Bahamas at the time. John, could you tell it was a cell phone picture?
I kind of assumed with just how hot this is up here.
Okay.
That's completely blown out. And just looking at the way that the colors are like, you have some greens and stuff showing up in places. And that's a lot of JPEG artifacting, typically speaking, I would think, unless this has been pushed really far. Like, was it actually,
really?
Yeah, I was gonna say, was it
pushed
really this yellow, or is that like a saturation thing?
I saturated for that reason. I wanted a little more, because it wasn't as saturated, but I just felt like it, because of where the sun was and it was sunrise, it needed to be pushed a little more, I thought.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I don't think I can tell a bit.
Gotcha.
So this is really, really hot, which, I mean, it's the sun, but then this little area around here is haloing into kind of like a weird sort of yellow and almost heading towards greenish color. And then you have greens coming through up here as well. And that's probably some mixture of color noise and just pushing the whole thing too far.
Gotcha.
The things you look out for is as you're editing, you start to see, can't really see it up here, but if you start to see some of these greens and stuff happening, then you kind of know that you're pushing the color noise too far.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
But I still like it that
Oh
way.
no, yeah, it's still really
I
cool.
think it, yeah, I think it works.
Super contrasty. I love it.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's the
I
fun.
like the perspective, Chris. I like that, the way you took it from behind the prop. It's nice. I like that.
Thank you.
That was a good story, on another note.
What's that, Matty? I missed that.
I said it tells a good story too, but that's another note.
All right, nice job, Chris.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Deb Boulanger and the Sarah Long Bridge.
Whenever I see that bridge, all I think of is Lord of the Rings and entering Gondor.
I used to think I'm going home because I lived right over on the other side of that bridge for a long time. Well, not while it was being built, but
I really love the spire look, like you're saying, that entering Gondor. It looks very castle-like.
This is a real pretty bridge. The other bridge gets all the attention. This one doesn't really I like it from this angle.
I agree. If you remember what the last bridge was like, oh
Yeah.
goodness, this thing is it's pretty.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is it's just not as accessible.
Yeah.
It's harder. It's not a road you can stop on. Like, you can't get anywhere near the bridge really to photograph it. So you're always shooting it from a distance.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Memorial Bridge, you can be right on top of it and shoot it.
There's not too many ways you can get to it without having a bunch of power lines right in your face too.
This bridge is in down east. It's where in Maine is it?
Kittery.
Yeah.
Yep. Maddie, there's
You
a
know,
parking lot that you can access to a little park.
Yeah,
In this one here, you know, there's 4 spires also, but again, you only see 3.
yeah, you hit that. That's well proposed.
Just like the last one, you knew there were more blades, but you saw the 3.
Oh, you don't think this is like a tripod bridge?
No. Yeah, I've had to find the exact spot for this to make this, to hide the one behind it.
Yeah.
I caught it coming home one night from Portsmouth right after the challenge was given to us, and I looked and the sun was setting on it. It was absolutely beautiful. But I didn't want to go into the park by myself getting dark. So I came back the following week with my husband, and the clouds were there. It was actually a bright day, but it was muted enough where it wasn't blown out light. And we still had some color, and it just constantly moving your feet, taking a photo. Can I see any of it? Can I not see any of it? You're right. You had to continuously move your feet until you didn't see any of that fire.
How'd you get it with no cars?
I probably took about 100 shots.
Yeah, there are no cars.
That was a Sunday. There were lots of cars. So I don't know how I got this one without any cars, but like I said, I took several photos.
It might be an angle thing. Like there probably are cars there, you just can't see them.
I was going to say that. Yeah, I've shot this bridge a lot. That's definitely the case. Unless it was a big truck going by, you wouldn't have seen it.
You know, actually, I did see, I have lots of shots again, and you can see the cars. I think that I might have caught a break for 2 seconds on this one. You would see just like the little very top of the car, but I do have a bird coming in if you can see him.
Yeah.
See that?
Awesome dynamic range on this too. Like you can see everything in the shadows really well, and it doesn't look like it's not real. You know what I mean?
Where did I hear the story about the raccoon on this bridge?
What?
There was a raccoon on the bridge, and somebody, it was right on the edge, and they didn't want it to go over, so they called the conservation officers, and what they did was they shut down the bridge while the conservation officers got the raccoon and took him off.
Awesome.
And then they opened it up. They were afraid that it was going to go over the edge because it was, it was pretty scared. But anyway, they got him off the bridge. I don't think that raccoon will be going on that bridge too soon. They probably relocated him where he'd be safe.
Deb, what did you process this in?
So I took it into, was it Color Effects 4?
Oh, Nick software?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just brought out the detail. I didn't do a whole lot to it.
Yeah, well, it has like it has like an HDR feel to it without being like that crazy ugly HDR. You know what I mean?
Right. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels HDR. You can see, like, you look in here, you have just nice grays and everything. There's some noise and stuff, but whatever.
Yeah, that's what I did. I just brought it into that Color Effects 4.
I actually really like this train track going across the front of it. I don't know why. I like these horizontal lines, and then there's these big verticals that come out of it, and then these lines that cross the whole thing. Yeah, it's really well composed. I really like it.
Thank you.
I was taking a photo from, I don't recommend doing this, by the way, but I was taking a photo from that bridge one morning, looking towards Portsmouth when the tall ships were in town in 2019. And a cop pulled up and basically stopped and asked me, he's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just taking some pictures. I even had like a bright vest on and everything like that. He's like, all right, I was just making sure that you weren't like jumping or anything like that. And basically he was like, obviously it's a bike path up there and whatnot, but he's like, I wouldn't recommend staying there. So don't do it, but don't do it,
Well, at least he checked on you.
Yeah, right. Before I jumped.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, how would that look if you cropped out the water and cropped it to the left? Left and remove the
Yeah,
water.
like this way?
Yes, keep going until you remove the water. Maybe even remove that next flagpole. There you go, something like that. Yeah.
I think the water adds.
I was gonna say that negative space that was there was helping to really balance out the image before, with the negative space in the water, and then in the right-hand corner, top corner of the picture, was really just helping to balance it, and cropping it. It made it heavier to the left.
Yeah.
You also get more depth in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's something, for me at least, there's something
Girl.
about those lines, like these horizontal lines, and then the vertical lines, and then the way that these, the bridge comes through. If you start looking at it just graphically, it's 2 dimensions instead of 3. Even just that's pleasing, just the way those lines all work out. But all right, we've passed 5 minutes. Anything else for Deb? All right, awesome. Nice job, Deb.
Thank you.
Nice.
All right, Lisa Shortliff. Where's this?
Where's this? I was gonna, it showed you, where's this? Well, I was gonna say, Sean, this picture was for you. Just for you.
I mean, I can go take a picture of Waste Management too if you want.
Oh my God. Oh.
Wow.
Oh, come on. Fenway is a dump.
I can smell
Even
this
Sox
photo.
fans know that.
Like I said, I can literally smell this photo.
Oh yeah, no, I can smell the sausages, and
yeah,
you feel the anticipation of waiting in line to get in.
Paying too much.
Yeah.
Well,
it was
that's
kind
every sporting event.
You did a great job photoshopping out that porta potty that's really right next to it.
There's not a porta potty next to it.
Oh no, the porta potty's on the other side of the gate.
Yeah. It was kind of wild walking around there with nothing there. I mean, the place was closed up. It was very different.
It's almost eerie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone to concerts at used to be I think it's the House of Blues is across the street now on Lansdowne. It used to be the Avalon.
Yeah.
So I've gone to concerts there in the wintertime, and yeah, Fenway is just this empty, just an eerie, empty old building in the wintertime. Anyways, your use of 3 is very nice.
Thank you.
I like it in black and white.
Yeah, I did too. I looked at it in color and I went, you know what? It's definitely better in black and white.
Your composition's really nice on this too. I really like your placement of the ticket windows. Instead of just focusing on them, you've stepped back and moved them out, put them on one of the hot spots. It's great.
Yep. I actually took out the no entry first and then I put it back in.
No, that was the right choice. I was actually going to it, like,
yep.
I was even going to comment on how much I mean, just graphically that little white sort of helps to balance out the image a bit, but the little detail of the no entry and the closed park, and with all the these big sliding doors are closed, and it fits, it makes sense, it's awesome.
Yep. That was bouncing back into the image a lot too, because that whiter that piece right there kind of pushes you back into the image, whereas it could actually help if you didn't have that there, you'd start to fade out to the left. I like that.
Yeah, I took it from all different angles, different ways. Over to the right-hand side, there's the entrance to Fenway Park. So there's a great big sign right above the stairs that says Fenway Park entrance or something along those lines. But no, I like this crop.
it's also another representation of three. There's three elements on that sign.
There's, yeah, yep.
I like
Yeah,
how
you
the title tickets kind of focuses everything into it just puts everything in the right place. It ties it all together.
It
Because
tells a
it's got that-
story, Lisa.
It does, doesn't it? I'll tell you, it was, yeah. I found a lot of stories in Boston. I was in Boston last Tuesday. Eric had a doctor's appointment and I wandered for 6 miles around the city, just taking pictures of me. I got lots of stories while I was there.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, Fenway Park deserted is pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Lisa, I like your perspective. I'm glad you shot this straight on.
Yeah,
I think
thanks.
It really, it's stronger.
Yeah. Yep, then an angle. Yeah, and I'm glad I cut out the part on the other side too, where it said the entrance to the park. I think this gives it more.
You don't need it.
No,
You don't need it. I mean, everybody knows where the Red Sox play. You have 3 Red Sox logos. It says Red Sox front office. You can see Fenway Park in the background. It doesn't need to say Fenway Park anywhere.
yeah,
I mean, it's a self-explanatory image.
yeah,
Building's uniquely composed, right? Because you got 1/3 of it's a door and the other of it's just the windows. I mean, just there's so many different the rules of thirds are played out throughout this whole image.
Lots of threes.
You also got a lot of leading lines too happening. Everything's pointing to the 3 windows pretty much.
Yep. Yeah, and the
And
only
the only
time
thing-
I can peek over the ticket's words is like, I have to intentionally do that. My eye just keeps coming right back to where she wants it to be. So
Mhm.
yeah, the composition's really, really nice here.
thank you. Said I definitely like it better in black and white.
No, yeah, I think black and white's the
Yeah.
right choice.
Yeah.
It's like baseball's better on the radio, right? At least it is to me. Always has been, always will be.
Yeah.
I'd rather listen than watch. It's like I
Yeah.
think almost all baseball looks better in black and white.
Well, and Fenway being as old as it is and the history and
Yeah, it's a great example of street art, and it's a lot of great street art. It's all black and white too, right? So it's
Yep.
kind of a lot of great things with this, and even the upper right hand corner where there's really no detail, it's not blown out, which could have easily happened in this picture by photographing. So nice job on control of the light across the board.
thank you.
Yeah, well done, Lisa.
Well done, Lisa.
Did anyone notice the 3 breaks in the cement?
Oh, no.
See it now.
Those are the 3 lines,
Yep.
yeah.
Leading lines going right in.
Right
Sometimes
into the
you
picture.
shoot this stuff and you don't even know that it's there. Your mind just, reacts to the scene and
Yeah. Yeah, you do. You keep picking up things in it when you look at it, the more you look at it.
No, it's a very intriguing piece. I love this, Lisa.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'd print this.
I would 100%.
You print this, huh? Okay.
Well-
I have a few diehard Red Sox fans right down the street that have gotten the Citgo sign for me, so.
There you
It's
go.
a very marketable piece. I bet a lot of people would be interested in something like this.
Yeah, it's nostalgic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, 5 minutes is up, Lisa. We're lavishing praise. It's really, really good.
All right, great. Thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you.
All right, up next is Chris Morse.
Ooh.
Ooh, meatballs.
Love hay
My-
bales.
My daughter used to call them meatballs when she was younger. Don't know why.
Is this the Durham, Madbury, Bellevue River area? Chris?
Yeah, it's the Smith Farm.
It's the Smith Farm over near Dover Point.
Yes. Knew
Yeah.
it.
They have walking trails out there that you can follow.
Yes.
All they ask is that you not litter and not drive your car in there. Very generous of them, I
Yeah,
think.
very.
Where is this?
Just what's the name of the bridge?
No.
It's over by the fishing bridge off of Route 4 going towards 16 in Durham.
Yeah, on the
Oh.
Great,
Okay.
on the Great Bay.
Isn't that Back River Road?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool, I like this.
Well,
I went by there on Tuesday, so yeah, nice.
I like the 3 bales, but I'm wondering if there's almost a little bit too much of a, if you took the sky out, Sean, just a little bit, and then you would have 3 layers of landscaping. You basically have the grass, the swampy area, and the trees.
I'd crop up a little bit too into the bale, maybe. 'Cause it seems really a little bit into it. There. See if that does.
And I don't like that as much as leaving the grass. I like the grass.
Yeah, I like the.
Yeah, I like
the
the
foreground
grass
of
and I like
grass.
the sky too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
See, I
like
agree
seeing the
with-
treetops.
I think I agree with the sky.
Yeah.
Maybe I was a little aggressive with it, but less sky at least.
Yeah, have some.
Yeah, that's better.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's stronger. I like that.
I love the contrasting colors on the landscape.
This was late afternoon, right? It was late afternoon. We were waiting for the sky to start changing color.
Ooh,
oh, that's nice.
wow.
Yeah.
A lot of tones going on there.
Yep.
A lot of detail brought out a lot of the detail in the hay.
That's better.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think the picture is a little bit flat because of what was going on in the sky.
You get flat light, so flat light tends to create less depth in your photo.
Uh-huh.
So it's hard to manage with that. Did you take this with your phone or your camera?
My phone.
Phone, okay, yeah, all right.
Oh.
I was just kind of curious because I saw the f-stop was 1.5. I was just, it was gonna say, it looked like it was a little fuzzy on the back hay bales a little bit, so. They weren't quite as in focus.
The f-stop was 1.5. Holy smokes.
Which is why I asked if it was a cell phone.
Yeah.
That's what I had with me that day.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, it's mostly just looking at it like if you were out there with your camera, I mean, if you even have something that can do f 1.5, but certainly not what you would choose, I would think.
No, with the
This time of year with the trees losing their leaves, everything usually looks kind of dull, but because of the color of the bales of hay being the same as in the background, it all just seems to work together so nicely. The dry grass in the back, it has life to it, even though it doesn't.
well, thanks.
Thanks, Chris.
I mean, I might consider toning it down just a little bit. And this is all subjective. I mean, in the end, it's your piece. I think the highlights are a little bit crazy going on. If you bring it down some, you bring back some of the detail and the contrast, and especially in that grass. I mean, that's as far as Lightroom can take it, but yeah, I don't know, maybe.
I'm seeing more depth in the grass around the bale in front.
Yeah, it's especially in this like center area that it just seems a little bit on the hot side to me.
Oh.
So just drag the highlights down a little bit just to kind of take some control over that. I wouldn't do that with the whites, it's just gonna make it too flat, but
What if you did it with the blacks?
yeah, that definitely adds some depth, depth
yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
A little dehaze as well. I know there's no haze there, but that's what dehaze will do for you most of the time, is add some depth.
The bales didn't look that good in person.
Not in flat light, nope.
I think it's a very pretty picture. Very calming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, you can smell the cow patties and the,
I'm still trying to figure out where that is on Route 4.
It's just right after the bridge, after you go over the, if I'm not mistaken, it's just before, or just before you go over, no, I think it's,
If you go over the bridge going
yeah,
towards,
you go over the bridge, and I think, isn't it your first right?
Yeah.
If you're coming in, yeah,
Is it a set of lights? At a set of lights?
yes.
Oh, okay. I think I know where it is now.
Probably Back River Road.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
all right. So we've hit 5 minutes for Chris. Chris, really cool photo. I think you nailed the number 3 very well. Good job.
Mhm.
Well done.
Thanks, guys.
All right, up next is Asina.
Oh, Woody Woodpecker's been at it.
Yep.
Nailed it.
They seem to always do them in 3s. For whatever reason, woodpeckers. I
Because
always
it's
see
the
'em like
daddy, the mommy, and the baby.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds great. Looks like there's something in the bottom one.
Little eyes.
Yeah. Doesn't it look like there's something in the bottom one?
Yeah, like Alien versus Predator. I think this is screaming to be black and white.
I agree.
Screaming, huh?
So now in this case, would you darken the background though?
Yes, I would.
Oh yeah, I would. Yep.
Darken the background. Yeah.
Who's seen Lightroom's new selection tools in action?
Me, it's cool. I love
Watch
it.
this. You click here for your selections. You go to, oops, go down here to objects,
It is so cool.
and then you just draw and you tell, hey Lightroom, this is an object I want you to select. And you just turn it all red. Oops, I overshot it a little bit.
Oh, you don't even have to do that, do you? Can't you tell it just to select the object?
Or the subject, no?
Subject,
Well,
yeah.
you can select the subject, yeah. And then once you select that, you can go here and go duplicate and invert. And now you have the background. And then you just go, yeah, let's make the background darker.
Yeah.
Oh, nice masking. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's such a cool feature.
Yeah, because you can do person and then it can select each individual person. Then you can do background, objects,
Sky.
sky.
Yep. Yeah, I've been playing with it a lot lately. It's been fun.
Yep.
It was right after you said it, Deb, when you said they started doing it, the new update. I think it was like the next day mine asked me to update it.
And I think it was a couple of meetings ago, you guys were doing, Jared was doing something real quick. It was like, whoa, wait a minute, how did you do that? And it was select the subject and the invert. Oh my God, I'm addicted to that now.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Have you seen it? Have you seen the way it can select people out?
yes.
Unbelievable.
And it's accurate.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Asina, this is just totally out of the norm for you. This is like a normal picture. Do you usually do something so funky?
She's got bokeh in there.
Oh yeah, the depth of field is nailed.
Yeah.
I agree.
I do like the color of the sky back there too. I mean, I do
Oh, not
like,
down
we
here.
were talking about the black and white, but I like the background colors. That's kind of push the image forward a little more, I think.
I see what you're pointing at, Sean. I'd crop up slightly.
Yeah, what is that? I can't zoom in. I can't tell what that is.
It's just the tree shape. I didn't actually adjust the crop at all.
You know, it almost makes the tree look superimposed in the image. Like that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Now that you
So I'm
point it
looking at
out,
it
I can't
going-
unsee it.
Did Asina's graphic designer bug take over and just put this all together, yeah, I would probably definitely bring that up a little
Yeah.
bit like that.
No, because as soon
Yeah.
as you pointed out, Sean, I couldn't get my eyes off. I was like, how does that work?
Right. Well, that's what I mean. It didn't look natural.
That's, yeah, there it is. Now it looks natural.
Okay. So I did play with the black and white. I did go back and forth a little bit, and I do agree that the black and white did just have this like kind of like an eerie, really cool effect look to it, but I felt like that little bit of blue in the background just gave it like more of a feel that like if you were out actually in the field looking at this tree, that it was such a chilly day that it brought in more of that chilly feel to it than just the black and white would. So that's where my selection of leaving that, like I did bring down the saturation on it so that you know, you didn't see all of the fall leaf colors, but just that I did want that just like little blue to pop just to make it feel cold.
Good choice. I like that.
Nice.
It looks like a winter photo without it being a winter photo yet.
Yep.
Oh, whoops, I forgot to start a timer. Oh, well.
And there's nothing living in that third hole that I could see. But what you are seeing from the commentary from right up front is there was little spider webs in there.
So it's not Alien versus Predator. Gotcha.
Not that I'm aware of. And I didn't poke the hole, but it's if it's living in the tree, that's a possibility. I'm not gonna say that it's not there, but possibilities are less likely that it's Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, definitely does look like something's down that bottom one.
There's like little eyes there. It kind of
Yeah, it definitely does.
draws a
That
conversation.
round mouth.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Very cool too.
There's a whole bunch of trees in this one little area that were all just, they were basically just perforated. And I must have taken probably about 20 shots of all the different trees at different angles. And just the light just hit this one tree in such a brilliant way. And the darks in the hole were just so dark, and just the way that the background just sort of dropped out on it. I loved how it all kind of came together, and very little edit went into this, and it was really just changing the colors out a little bit and adjusting the light. But
I think it needs little gnomes.
I mean, you kind of want something sticking out of one of the holes there.
Yeah,
Like
like little
a Keebler
gnomes,
elf
you know,
or
the
something.
apartment house.
I'll do some creative editing later, and
There you go.
I'll see what
Yeah.
I can
Or
Like-
tree
get some
fairies.
a little
Hey,
fairy
put some
house going
eyeballs
on in
or
there.
something.
See them.
Mm.
Like pieces of elf on shelf.
Take a picture of your owl face and put it in there.
Mm.
Oh.
Ooh.
I feel like maybe I should just start doing that on like all my photos and see if anybody can find it.
I hide things.
It'd be like a Where's Waldo thing going forward.
All right. So I did forget to do a timer, but I'm sure 5 minutes has passed at this point.
I'm sure 5 minutes is up. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Nice job, Asina.
Yeah, good work.
Nice work.
All right, next up, we have Scott Thorpe.
Ooh,
Oh.
nice.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Nice night photo, man. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a moon photo.
I love the people on
That
the
Greg?
dock. Scott.
Is
Oh.
that Greg over there?
Perfect.
No,
Beautiful.
he was not there for this.
Oh, okay.
He was with two flat tires.
Oh, that was the morning.
I did tell him that you left him high and dry there. Very
Is this up in Barnstead?
Guitar.
This is Baxter. That's
okay.
Katahdin in the background.
That shot is just absolutely gorgeous.
Yes, it is.
I
Yeah.
loved it the first time I
Yep.
saw it.
I think 3 takes a back seat to the scene.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
Highlights. Fog on the water, all that.
The
I like the
clouds
number-
just the clouds are just perfectly placed on top of Katahdin.
Mhm.
And you see the moon 3 times too. Once on shore and then the reflection and the one in the sky.
Okay, show off.
This is actually one of the last photos that I've taken. I haven't shot in like a month. So I went back, but I remember there were 3 canoes on this side and 2 canoes on the other side. So a total of 5. And most of the shots that I like better are with the 3 canoes instead of the 2. I don't know if the pier sort of, I think it would be better if the dock wasn't there, but that almost makes it like a 4th thing, I think.
I almost think the dock is great there. Just makes you want to walk on it.
It leads you out to the moonlight.
Yeah.
I just think it's astonishing. You shot this in the middle of the night, you still got all that detail. That
Yeah, it's nuts.
shows you how powerful it can be. Your camera can be.
I think the rock in the dock framing the canoes.
Yep.
Love the
What's your
reflection.
shutter
of
on
the
this?
water. What were your settings, Scott?
It's only a second and a half. 1.3 seconds.
Great work, man. That's unbelievable.
I feel like we're right there in the picture with that other person on the dock looking at the moon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the only thing this is missing
be a
is like a
puzzle.
werewolf.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't talking that time. I don't know if I had the button pushed when I said the part about the 3 and the 2.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Well, thanks, everyone.
Sean, what does it look like black
That's
and white?
gorgeous.
I mean, that didn't work great. Let's just do it this way.
No,
I think the color really makes this image.
I do too.
Yeah.
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it. I like this as well.
It looks good, yeah.
Looks like 1920s type of.
Yeah.
Well, it's I like this because I think that the yellow of the moonlight is almost a little distracting at times. But I mean, that's a subjective thing.
Yeah, you could tone that down though.
What time of night was this? Do you know?
An hour after sunset.
Yeah.
It's a light, man. 2 hour late too.
Love how blue the sky is still.
Yeah, so I would guess the sun rose right when the sun set. The moon rose right when the sun set, because this was about an hour afterwards.
Beautiful twilight.
Well done, Mr. Thorpe.
Yeah, nice job, Scott.
Yep. Gorgeous.
Great.
Very nice.
Gorgeous.
Thanks.
All right, up next, Matt Vision.
All right, give me a second. There's a lot of 3s in here, even though it doesn't look like there is. This was done with 3-point lighting. There's 3 representations. There's my wife Liz and Jasmine the cat. the reflection of those two, and then the shadows. So that makes a segment of 3. There's 3 primary colors, red, white, and bluish, because there's tons of blue. 3 subjects looking at the cat, one being the actual Liz, one being the reflection of Liz, one being the viewer of the image. There's also 3 triangles in the image. There's 2 at the very top, and there's 1 at the very bottom underneath the mirror. There's 3 eyes of the cat visible, 2 on the actual cat, 1 in the reflection. There's a 3-point connection in the image as well. Hands touching the bottom paws, hand touching the back of the cat, paws touching the arm. And then there's 3 red things in the image: lipstick, red dress, and jewelry. There's my 3.
Say what?
Maddie,
did
I
your
wish you
homework.
would
Well
write this out a
then.
little bit more.
Wow. Wow.
Wow is right. Wow.
And the image is called Jazz, which is 3 letters in the image title. But that's like icing on the cake. And that was Liz's idea, not mine.
I know it's not about 3, but it looks like it's a tight corner, a triangle. Where
So this,
kind of space?
I took the challenge and wanted to challenge myself even more. And I wanted to restrict myself in the place that I was working in too. So this is in the corner of our bedroom. And the walls are not actually blue. It's like a grayish color. I used a red filter over the camera to alter the image's color a little bit. She's actually wearing a red dress, but that's how I was able to get like that vintage cast of color in there that doesn't look natural.
I
So-
think the concept is
I'm
great.
glad that you said that, Maddie, because I'm looking at it and I'm trying to recall what in my art history classes from a long time ago of like kind of the some of the vintage kind of looking photography, and I just didn't follow the photography all that well back then, and it does just bring you back to like kind of like 1970s ish, 1960s ish
Yeah.
feel to it. And
Vintage?
just-
You're aging me a lot.
it but
You can call the
like, just
80s
with those-
vintage these days, Pat. Let's be real.
Geez, 90s is vintage.
Yeah,
If
the
you-
90s are
if
classic
you went to
rock
the
now, yeah.
Halloween stores, they have 90s Halloween costumes,
Right,
which
yeah.
I that blew my mind. But yeah, just the very like saturated like reds and blues and like blacks and whites, and just there is a whole movement of art within that time that if you had told me that this photo is out of that, I would have believed you on that. And it's very crisp, and it's such a lovely photo.
If you follow my stuff, I don't usually do heavily saturated stuff. A lot of my images I try to go for a more natural look to things, rather than,
I know, which is very strange that this is your photo. I didn't realize that this was your photo until your name was said, and that didn't
Awesome.
make sense still.
awesome. Yeah,
So
I kind
great
of,
job on that.
after I took the image and started processing it, I looked at it and I was like, I don't know if I like this, even though the concept of 3s is in there. So I actually didn't look at it for 2 days. And then I went back to it and I was like, no, this works, and tweaked it a little more. The colors, like I said, I'm not usually big on oversaturating things or anything, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to put an artistic twist on this thing, and why not? This isn't for a client, this is for fun, so make it fun.
Well, and it's not oversaturated.
No.
Yeah, so I mean, that you don't have to worry about that. It's saturated right.
It is oversaturated for my tastes, I guess, if I was to have tastes, but I wanted to try something new on a few different levels, so that's what we did. So thank
Very
you.
nice.
I appreciate it.
Looks really nice.
Yeah, good job. All right, that's 5 minutes from Maddie. Next up is Peter, who's speaking our language. Oh, it's root beer.
Oh,
I don't ever want to be after Maddie again. Maybe not. Don't ever put me behind Maddie again.
I can't help it, man.
Come on.
Delete my photo, move on.
well, no, because you have a series of threes in here too. You've got the three lights
Yeah.
behind the table, the three bottles, the three shadows.
The 3 sections of table.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For Maddie's, it looks like Melba toast.
Stop it.
No, it doesn't. I love this.
Yeah, this
I
works.
like it. Cool.
I love the way that the shadows are like kind of crossing the lines of the table, those
Yeah.
slats. Like the way that they're just breaking all of that up is really, I love that.
That's what I was gonna say, Sean. I just like the tension that creates. I think it's really well. If you ask what you plan to do, that's awesome. That's exactly how you should have held it.
Right, it's exactly what you want to do. Yeah.
So there's 3 shadows in the glasses too.
Yep.
What is that? See them?
Yeah,
Oh,
1,
yeah.
2, and 3. Yep.
Yeah, 1, 2, and in the bottles themselves.
Three
Yeah, it looks like
primary
bottle
shades of brown.
openers.
Yeah, it looks like a bottle opener in each glass.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's three
I
different
love
tones
that
of
you
brown.
didn't take this leaf out. I really do. It adds even more of that same tension because there's this consistent pattern running through the entire image, and then this breaks it up, and in a different way than these break it up. And so it's just a little more tension, and I like it.
There's also 3 very dominant tones of brown in here too.
And Eli is 3 letters.
It is.
It's root beer. That was the important part to me.
Well, I am a fan of root beer. I do enjoy it. I made myself a root beer float probably the first time in 20 years the other day,
Nice.
and forgot how just perfect a root beer float is.
Yeah.
I think if I was going to do anything, I might crop it in a little, like get rid of this over here. It doesn't really need to be this long. Like I think maybe something.
Yeah.
Like get one of these, get one of the bottles onto a PowerPoint, and somewhere in there maybe.
Yeah, I like that.
And then it looks like these shadows could just go on forever. You know, you can't see where they end.
How long did it take you to do this, Peter?
I was actually just finishing breakfast. I shot this, started in the house and moved out to my deck because the sun was just creating the light through the bottles. I was just kind of like a mad scientist. Poor Chris, I was moving things all around. Trying to get probably about an hour and a half of shooting, and it was all with my cell phone.
No, it wasn't that long.
It seemed like it.
You worked at it, Lisa.
Yeah, no, I love it.
I kept waiting for lightning to strike, and then I got so confused with what I was doing. I said, I got to stop. This is just, I can't do this anymore. It was a fun exercise for me though, because I don't usually get inspired like that with light.
Yeah.
This was a good challenge.
Thanks.
I like the idea of just throwing 3 out there and letting people do what they're gonna do with it.
Yeah, I don't remember whose idea 3 was.
I still thought we were red, but that's all right.
No, that was the challenge initially.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how we ended up with 3. I don't know whose thought it was. But it's amazing how many 3 things there are out there once you start
Oh, yeah.
looking and paying attention.
It's a great photographic number for composition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, compositionally, odd numbers are always your friend. 3, 5, 7, anytime you can get it.
Three's company.
The more I look, I see a lot more circles too.
Yeah.
That was the Cena's thing with circles, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And like the way that the table crosses here, that's done really well as well. You don't want the tip of the bottle to catch the very tip of the table. That causes tension, and not a good tension. You want it to actually break this line in a really assertive way, and that's what this is doing, so that's good.
I could see this as being like retro art type stuff. Like this is almost like a comic print art. I could see this. How comic booky the colors are together, and then just how the sun is streaming through the bottles. And then the contrast to the flooring behind the table. And then the contrast, yet some of the commonalities of the colors of the table and bottles too. But then the labels make it just pop.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Yeah, I never thought of it.
Hey, babe, we got root beer, right?
All right, well, that was 5 minutes for Peter. Peter, really nice job.
Thanks.
Don't
Nice
worry about,
job.
Really,
don't
that's
worry
really
about
awesome.
following Maddie. You're the reigning winter show best of show winner. So
Oh, that's right.
so hang in there. You have a title to defend next week.
I know, I'm getting ready. Thank you guys.
All right, next up is Mason.
Is Mason on? Did he come on? No?
No, I don't.
No,
think
he's not.
Yeah, he wasn't
No.
able to make it. So I think for something like this, what you want to try and do is to, clean up the space a bit. Like I like the idea of the 3 balls and having them sitting in the frisbee is a good idea. But some of this other stuff is distracting. But I mean, I'm not sure the story that Mason was trying to tell with this. So, I think cropping it up would be a good idea.
Baseball should have been a theme, I guess, apparently.
Yeah, just try and make the subject, more of the focal point of where you want the viewer to look.
And you get the light plug out.
Yeah, down the bottom
lights-
and then
Yeah,
part of the hand sanitizer.
So bring that in like that, maybe send it in this way. Yeah, you start to get weird tangents happening over here now too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like the idea. I just think it needs to be thought through a little bit more.
It's like pick your poison at this point when it comes to cropping.
So yeah, I think probably what I would do is leave it like this and then take it into Photoshop and just get rid of that.
I think that's a good point to notate that maybe for people who are new to photography, that it's not like even in a landscape shot that photographers will still kind of coordinate an area. Like if you're if you need a bunch of leaves in an area for your fall shot, that you are out there moving that bunch of leaves over, and you coordinate the shot as needed. So I think that's always a good point to let the new photographers out there know, is that to kind of take into account what the whole image is. But what's kind of really interesting on this one is the fact that, like, just like we had talked about with Maddie's earlier, where he went with primary colors. There is red, blue, and yellow right in this photo, that if you crop it just right, you can get those 3 primary colors in there. And with the white and the black, I think that you've got there's something in here still. If you maybe crop it down and really kind of look at the image of what you're trying to get in there.
The lighting on the baseballs is interesting. Each one of them is different. in terms of the lighting, but I think that the texture and the lighting really works in that.
You know, and I'm looking at like the seams on the ball. Like if you spent a little bit of time, you could make it so it was one continuous, like
Oh, yeah.
shape or
yeah.
line to it. You know what I mean? So you'd have this one shape here, and then this shape could line up as well. And you could just make a cool little pattern in there to help bring the eye, because your eye will continually go to a pattern like that.
Challenge accepted. My goodness, that would be a cool photo, huh?
Wouldn't it? I know. Now I have to go buy baseballs. See?
Yeah, we should do that.
Thanks, Mason. Now I have to go
I
buy
know-
baseballs.
I know exactly where those are right now. I'm going to do it.
And the name Wilson could just be moved up by rolling the ball back a little bit so that your eye starts at the name or ends at the name, and then it follows the trails. I don't know if that made sense.
No,
Yes.
I know what you're trying to say.
But
Yeah. I think that
Just
would be
kind of-
a decision to make whether you want the name there or not, I guess.
Yeah, I'd exclude branding altogether. Just make it the pattern and try to make it as simplistic as possible, minimalistic, if you will.
Technically, it's in a good spot. If you put that grid back up, I think it's almost in one of the lower corners. Yeah, so it's sort of weighted to the bottom left where the balls are, which is, maybe you could go up just a little bit and put them, yeah.
I like how that shadow dies into the corner too. Right where the light socket is.
Yeah, that I don't
Mhm.
mind that at all. That shadow is interesting. Like I could, that if it was something that really bothered you, that's a super easy thing to deal with in Photoshop. It might even be something that could be dealt with in Lightroom. I don't know. Because they have a couple of different things here now too, right?
Yeah. They're healing tools and stuff, and
Content aware. Yeah, they have a content aware now.
it's gotten pretty impressive.
There.
Boom.
Yeah, look at that.
Bye.
Not that they finally added content aware to Lightroom. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just when you're thinking of a shot like this, try and really see the finished product before you shoot it. Recognize having some bunched up clothing behind it maybe isn't best, and you want to move the the hand sanitizer out of the way. I mean, the way that I don't know who said it, but the way that the balls are lit, how each one is a little bit different is interesting. So I'm not sure that needs to be changed. I mean, this pen, distracting probably remove that. But I mean, I think it's definitely interesting, and try it again.
Unless the pen was intentional to leave it in there with the color of red.
Could be, yeah.
Everything in the Frisbee is red,
I just wonder if where your subject is the balls, if having that sharing the space is maybe not the best idea.
Right.
But yeah, definitely. Hopefully Mason gets a chance to see this and he gets something out of it. I think it's a really cool idea. I'd love to see him, try it again and just put a little bit more thought behind that finished image. I think there's something here. So good job, Mason. All right. Next up, we have Deb Manning.
Ooh. Yeah.
Who's gone nostalgic on us.
Well, this is kind of 3 different people's ownership. The cup is mine from Seaford. The autograph book is from my older sister when she graduated out of the 6th grade. We all got, I don't know whether we had to pay for them or not, but I have mine somewhere. I found my mother's. I got my mother's when my sister died. And then the medallion was the 300 and something birthday of Seaford, which my mother used to wear that a lot. So I guess it's my tribute to my mother and my sister and Seaford, where I grew up.
Cool.
Where's Seaford?
Huh?
Where is that? Seaford?
It's on Long Island. It's on the South Shore. It's
I
a
grew
little,
up on
it's
Long
a,
Island too.
yeah, it's a village. It's not really a town. It's a village. I still have relatives. I have a friend that lives about 2 miles from where I grew up. She's one of my oldest friends. She is my oldest friend, her and her sister, my first best friends. So I kind of thought about this picture and then did it today.
So what's your background? Is just like a piece of fabric?
It's velvet.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to see this with everything actually, like especially the mug, like actually standing up, and maybe having the autograph books, standing up a little bit.
Well, I thought of that too, but I was doing this from my bed in the light and I just wanted to try something different.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, try it again if you get a chance, but
Okay.
like set it up as like a tabletop and try and put, I don't know, some sort of a background in there. It can just be a black background. That's fine. I just think the cup or the mug specifically would look a lot more natural if it were standing upright as opposed to laying down.
Yep.
And then you can make the chain of the medallion sort of like snake through the scene a little bit or something.
What was your f-stop on this?
I think I had it set at 5.6.
I would drop it to like f8.
Well, yeah, I had to up the, I also had to up the, ISO and
Yeah.
slow down the shutter.
Yeah, because if you have a tripod, you can slow down your shutter even more and then just do like a timer. So then that way, because it looks like it's starting to fade off a little bit in the corners of the wallet. So then that way the depth of field would be nice and sharp throughout.
Well, this was coming in from the window.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can see the window on the coffee cup.
Yep.
Which I don't,
I
mind. I don't love the placement of the window in the coffee cup. Like if you're
Well-
gonna have this reflection, try and get it up here maybe,
Mhm.
or just so that it's not like falling off either. If it's gonna be down here, try and avoid it, or try and get it moved. It's just a matter of changing your angle slightly and get it up here a little bit.
Well, I had the cup in the autograph book facing, it was, the light is coming in from the top, so I had it not where I normally put it if I'm doing something like tabletop
Mhm.
on my bed, but anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I had it coming in from the top.
I love the idea of it though, and I love the nostalgia of it and the story behind it. I think that it definitely hits the threes, and it hits the feels a little too. Am I allowed to say that? I'm too old for that. Oh, I can't say that.
Well, I can't, when did my sister graduate out of grammar school? Because this was 6th grade graduation when they used to do it at the 6th grade. And she was 4 years older than me, so it was probably back in the late
1643.
50s. No, the 50s. 50s are very early 60s. Well, it was just before, no, it had to have been in the 50s because she was 4 years older than me and we moved up here in 64.
The medallion says 68 for whenever that was.
That was the 300th anniversary, the 300 and something anniversary of Seaford for being there. That's when it was settled from 1643 to 1968. They had a big celebration for the 300 years.
All right. Well, we're at 5 minutes. Yeah, Deb, I would love to see it if you decide to at least try it with everything standing up, tabletop style. Please post it. I think it would help this a lot. I think it would be really cool.
Yeah, I'll give it a try tomorrow.
Okay.
Real quick, Deb, I just want to say that it gives me a feeling of that they're kind of floating in midair. Just the way the coffee cup is kind of askew, and then you get the book, the autograph book one way, and then medallion, the chain of it kind of looks a little looped a little bit. So it kind of almost looks like it's being pushed up, almost like it's in zero gravity almost a little bit to me. That thing is kind of neat. I know you weren't going for that, but that's just my perspective.
Thank you.
All right. Nice job, Deb.
Good job,
Thanks.
Sam.
All right, last one. Dwight Harvey. And it's very literal.
About as three can be.
I know Dwight didn't make it on, so hopefully he gets a chance to see the, see the recording of it. So, I mean, first of all, the light is fantastic. It's such a beautiful graphical nature to this.
Love the contrast. The shadows.
I like how gritty it is.
Yeah.
Light direction's awesome. It creates so much depth.
I like it's not straight. You know, it's tilted.
His placement of it is very well too, because nothing's really encroaching on the edges of the photograph whatsoever. So it's nicely placed throughout. And great shading with the whites, some of the bright whites to the deeper shadows. I guess if I had to give anything, like that upper right hand portion of the three was like a ding in it, I try to just mask that, clone that out. And then it looks like it's like dust on it or something. Or is it just because of the low res file?
I think there's some sort of effect on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you mean. Like it's been processed to the point where it's usually you're just gonna see everything.
Yeah.
So
Pudgy.
So
It almost looks like at the top, it's not separated there. And that I'm pointing at my computer and you can't see me pointing at my computer. But
I
at the
move
top-
my mouse all the time to point it.
yeah, up at the very top of the three, it looks like it's blending in with the background.
yeah, I see it like right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's still just enough of a highlight there where there is still some separation there though. You can see it right there.
It's
Just enough of the light is catching that edge, and there's a little bit of an edge highlight right there. It's still providing some separation at least. So this is what Dwight, when he sent it in, he said it's a it was shot with a Lumix 3D1 point and shoot camera. Processed in Photoshop Elements, remove the color and adjust lighting and contrast is what he says. Yep, so it's tabletop and just like window light. So
Definitely 3 significant shades of gray in there.
Yep.
well, yeah, but I still see I think I see all 9 zones. So
Yeah.
I don't see there's nothing muddy about the darks. Those all look nice. Nothing's blown out in the highlights. Like even in here, you still can see that line in there.
I wish there was one more layer of 3s.
Yeah,
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
3 of 3.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what the shadow is, 2 legitimates and the third is the shadow.
Definitely a cool shot. I love that lighting. Lighting's awesome.
It's very almost like stock image.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. There are people out there making a lot of money doing stock photography.
You're absolutely right. Yeah. If you're going to search for the number 3 for an image online, you're going to come up with this before you come up with anything else that we came up with. Maybe Susie's eggs would come up second.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really cool.
Very, very neat.
He took the number 3 to the next level.
Would that make it 4?
Yeah. I don't know if anybody got that one, Chris.
Okay, I'm leaving now.
Hey, Sean, did you get my picture?
Oh, I don't know.
Bye, Nikki.
Let me just double check the email. Maybe I missed it. I don't see one from you.
It was about 6:20.
You sent it to the camera club or to me?
The GRCC.
Yeah. Oops.
It's under spam, Sean. I just looked, it's in the spam folder. For some
Oh,
reason.
is it?
Yeah, for some reason it's in the spam folder.
Oh, yeah, there it is. All right. Sorry, Nikki.
that's
Gmail,
okay.
Gmail thought you sent spam.
That was the first time I was like, if he doesn't see it, did it go to that folder for some strange reason?
Let's see here. How do I import? Speaking of spam, if anybody isn't aware, the Flying Circus is on Netflix right now. And it's like I've rediscovered Monty Python, and it's just awesome.
Oh, God.
I've forgotten how funny and how just it never gets old.
I remember going to
It
see
never
Monty
gets old.
Python in drive-in movie theaters on the big screen. Oh, yeah.
Have you watched the TV series at all, Ghosts?
Can't say I have.
I have seen some episodes, yeah.
Oh my God, my husband and I'm going through it for the third time and still cracking up laughing.
Let's see. Hold on, Nikki. I'm working on it. Gotta get it in the right folder, and now I can import it. Aha, there it is. All right. The cheese stands alone. Here we go. This one is Nikki's.
Oh, Nikki. Look at that.
Wow,
Wow.
that's pretty.
Thank you. So this is a tree stump that has 3 holes in it. The top, the side where the branch came out, and then down at the bottom, the dried stuff at the top. There's 3 of everything, with the exception, there's a 1 stem of the milkweed, but it's got 3 pods on it. There's 3 different flowers coming off to the left, different types of flowers, and the roses are in 3. And then same thing at the bottom, everything's in a group of 3.
Very pretty.
Very pretty.
Sean, thank you for finding that.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah,
fun.
of course. I don't never intentionally leave anybody out.
We know that. Very nice.
Love the background too. I don't know what you use back there to make that seamless, but that works. That's nice.
That was from conference.
You know, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, was that from, did you buy that at the auction?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the first time I used it.
Well,
Yeah, well, Paisley doesn't have a ton of use sometimes. No, it looks almost like it's like it could be a product photo for whoever, like if this was something like a crafter or something made this and they were going to sell it online. Like you, Nikki, you could sell it online.
Yeah, it's a roll. It's probably 5 feet across by 6 feet. So I just hung it over something and then put it on a bench. And
So
then
what will you do with this? Will you keep this? Will you sell it?
oh no, I'm gonna play around with this stump this winter when it's cold. I'll go out and find more stuff and just play around. I thought I might hit a swamp that has cat of nine tails, grab some greenery off the pine trees, just play around and see what I can do with it. I'm not crazy about the flowers. I was just, I want something that hangs more. Might buy a inexpensive ivy and play around with ivy with this to let things hang.
I keep looking at that bottom section. It looks like there's eyes on one of those little things in the lower left-hand corner.
Yeah.
Yep,
right?
now I'll not be able to see that.
Just
Yeah.
see those eyes.
Little googly eyes.
Stop staring at me.
Those round things,
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
are something I pulled. I've got like 5 hanging dried flowers in my studio. They're probably 2 years old. So I came in here and pulled those out.
Very cool. Very cool, Nikki.
The milkweeds just give it such a soft look. It's really pretty.
I like how they're scattered over the piece too. They're not just in the top. They've kind of shown that they've fallen all over, which is what they do.
Yeah, if I had thought of it, I have some Spanish moss, dried Spanish moss. I would have thrown some around the bottom just to give a little bit more shape to the bottom. But I just kept trying to put things in by 3.
Oh, very cool, Nikki.
What is this thing, about 24 inches tall or so?
Probably closer to 15, 16. The milkweeds make it look taller than it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I'll actually pull the milkweeds out tomorrow and go spread them along the edge of the road on our property.
Very cool.
Yeah, I love Nikki, how most of the time when you do something for critique, it ends up being like, oh, I also made this beautiful craft that I could sell to somebody.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
And then I photographed it, and that's beautiful too. And
Yeah, my grandmother used to do this all the time in the fall and go collect stuff, and sometimes she'd spray paint it. This was years ago before people started doing it. But yeah, she'd make great arrangements from the fall, dried stuff outside.
That burst of color from the flowers in the midsection of it is so vibrant.
that burst of color makes me like, I keep coming back to the paisley pattern in the background. I start to wonder if it's too distracting because it
Yeah.
keeps taking me away from that. That color should be sort of the focal point of the image. Everything else is, it almost has this idea of like life will find a way,
Yeah.
We have
I
like
think
the stump and everything else is all browned out and dead or on its way to dead. And then there's just this color and this beautiful life happening still. And I wonder if the paisley background, it just doesn't fit the rest of the motif of everything.
Oh, I agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree. When I was playing around with this in Lightroom, I was trying to darken the background a little bit more. I even used a vignette and it still wasn't enough because I thought it was taking away.
Oh, you could select just the background.
Yeah, and darken it.
Go ahead and like add like a Gaussian blur, and then that way you could just blur it out, and then you get the different color tonality tones in there, and that might actually be kind of neat.
Yeah, I think you could potentially run into trouble there with some of these really fine hairs with this, like
Right.
especially with like an AI selection. Sometimes it doesn't do great with this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
like,
'cause I had-
a blur in there, you could start to blur things you don't want to blur.
Right.
I did use the select the black background in Lightroom, and it did exactly what you said. This foxtail on the right, it didn't select, it put that in the background.
Right.
And there were a couple other things that put in the background. And I could have, as you said, sat there and brought that back in, but I didn't want to sit there to do quite that much detail.
I don't blame you.
I feel like as awesome as the new selection tools are in Lightroom and stuff, it still almost creates like more artifacting and haloing around objects than it did in previous, situations.
Yeah, I think we're all gonna have to learn how to use that with a fine touch.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like anything new, you're gonna kind of push it to see how far can it go, and
Yeah.
but yeah, eventually we'll all learn. It's like the clarity tool,
Yeah.
At first we were like, woohoo!
Right. I try to not woohoo anything.
And now I'm like, oh, I hit 20, back that off,
Yeah, exactly. Seriously.
So yeah, I think the same thing will happen with these selection tools. We'll all have to just figure out, where are the limitations. They're all AI too. They'll just keep getting better and better.
Yeah, I feel like we're in that in between. Like they're really testing the waters now, and obviously it's light years beyond what it was a couple of years ago, but I feel like it's not quite there.
Yeah, but it's advancing quickly.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this anything that this artificial intelligence, it is learning very fast.
Yeah. You've even seen like a lot of stuff hit the internet lately, just like you said. We were talking about this at the last meeting with this new recent update, just seeing people's portrait works and people's work just in general, and even when it comes to landscapes, like, wow. You could see people pushing it, but you gotta to test the boundaries and the limits. And I guess, art is art at the end of the day. Where do you draw the line, right?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you do image competition with NHPPA or with PPA, you start to learn that like there is no line.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
They're painting images as photography these days.
It's a finished image, and what is your art is subjective to you.
That's it.
So yeah, so that was the last image critique of 2022.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
So the first challenge for, obviously there's no more critiques in December, so we'll announce the whatever the January challenge is. Hasn't even been decided yet, so I'm not withholding. But yeah, that'll get announced sometime towards the end of December, so people can start working on it. And yeah, everybody got their stuff ready for drop off?
Yep. No.
You're not ready,
I
but
get-
you know what you're doing?
Yep, I gotta go visit the amazing Chris at Riverstones.
Yeah, I have to bring something to her too.
I'll meet you there.
This is gonna be my moment when I go, hey Jared, remember that time you said that you'd frame something for me because you owed me a favor? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. But really, you got like, a couple days you can sacrifice maybe. I'm just kidding.
I guess it's their frames.
Do we put this behind glass or do we just no glass front?
Yes, glass.
You can put glass or no glass.
Yeah, it's up to you. Mine won't have glass in front of it.
Yeah.
So it's just finished. The idea is that it's ready to hang. So I mean, if it's gonna have a mat and a frame, glass is not always a bad idea. I think it's usually a good idea to put glass in front of it. It gives it a museum, a kind of a finished quality to have that glass in front of it.
Okay.
But if you went the route of canvas or metal or something like that, it doesn't need anything beyond that. So and then honestly, like Scott does something where he brings, it's still paper and he hangs it in between two pieces of wood. And it's really simple and it looks really cool. And so, yeah, I mean, if you find something that's outside of the box, then as long as we can hang it up, we'll hang it up.
We can submit 2 images, right?
Yep, 2.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Chris, have you ever matted before? Have you ever put them in frames before?
No, I've not.
If you need help, I'm sure there's someone who can help to do it, because there are certain things that everybody has
Oh yeah,
learned to
we've
do.
all done it. So feel free to reach out to anybody I mean, you bring stuff to, and we'll do it in my dining room if it's, if that's what you need.
Right. If you have a frame, you don't have a wire on the back, just come that night, we can bring some supplies. And
Yeah, the club owns like the wire and the D-rings to screw in so that we can hang it. So just get it to us and we'll get it up.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a whole stock of that. So
Cool, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, the judges were all confirmed today, so we're good to go there. The The ribbons are on their way, so assuming there's no printing errors again, we'll have them, which will be great. For once, we'll actually have ribbons I can hand to people because I didn't procrastinate. Yeah, and again, you know, if you have any suggestions or requests for next year, get them to us one way or another. And that way we can, even if you just save them up and we talk about it in December, you know, at the potluck, you know, that's great.
Yep.
You'd be surprised after a few years, when you're on the, you know, trying to run these things, it's you start to feel like you don't have any new ideas anymore. At least that's how I feel. I don't know about the rest of the leadership team. It's hard to come up with ideas for challenges and things. So if you have ideas, certainly send them our way. I mean, that's all I've got. Anybody else have anything that they want to? Well, all right then.
Great
I guess
meeting,
I'll
guys. Great
see you
submission.
guys. See everybody in 9 days at the drop off.
Yeah.
Jared, well, we can talk about hanging and stuff and who's going to hang around to hang. So
I'll be there. We're gonna be there, what, 9 and 30th?
yeah. So it's drop off starts at 5. Try and hopefully everybody gets everything there by 8, and then whatever small team of us are staying to actually hang it up is it doesn't matter who does it. So
I'm open. I'll come down and hang out with you guys and hang some stuff.
yeah, hanging's fun. We usually drink beers. So
I can help with that.
well, and it's usually Monique who brings the beer. So and she's dry now, so I don't know if we have to bring our own.
Okay.
Last year she spilled the beer in the piano.
No way.
But that's hush hush. We haven't told our pack about that. So, all right. Anyways, before I spill all the beans, yeah, I'll see you guys at the drop off. If you have any questions or need any help with anything, feel free to reach out to anybody on the leadership team. We're all willing to help and whatever. So, yeah, have a great night.
Have a nice Thanksgiving, everyone.
Oh yes, happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Everyone.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.